We're starting our very first Aging but Dangerous virtual gathering, and we're very excited today that you have all joined us, and we have some wonderful guests with us today. I have a couple of housekeeping ideas before we turn it over to Jean Ketcham, our CEO. First is that if you have any feedback, you might want to use earbuds. That might help. Secondly, this is being recorded, so we can go back and look at it again. Number 3 is that we have a chat, and you are welcome and encouraged to add any questions, suggestions, opinions, comments. We would love to hear from you. So just enter the chat what you want to say, and then we will talk about them throughout the session here. We've got a big agenda, and we're looking to enjoy the time with you. So I want to introduce Jean Ketcham, our CEO of Aging but Dangerous. Jeannie?
Here I am. Hi, everyone. This is very, very exciting for us. This is the first time we've done a virtual gathering, and we are going to do many, many more. And I am very excited to have with us today Lynne Hardy, right there, who's in charge of our travel and who's been with Aging but Dangerous since the beginning, and Mary Sue Palazzari. And she has been with us from the beginning, and I want them to speak a little bit later about some of their experiences. We are celebrating our 10th, I started to say 10th wedding anniversary. No, our 10th Aging but Dangerous anniversary, 10 years. It just seems impossible that it's been that long. Now, I know a lot of you maybe online have been members or part of Aging but Dangerous, but we are starting another whole phase. We are having a paid membership organization. It's $49 to join for the year, and we're going to have all sorts of things happening as we go along, and we'll tell you about them today. But I would like to talk to Mary Sue. Mary Sue is one of our kick-ass models, and I think about 6 years ago, we had our first fashion show. Wasn't that right? 6 years?
6 years?
Yeah.
8 years. Wasn't it 8 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, we had our kick-ass models. Now, the interesting and fun story about Mary Sue is we had this casting call on a Saturday morning, and she got up. What time did you get up in the morning? At 2 o'clock or something?
It's early, not that early.
She gets up because she lives out on a ranch farm with some horses. And she came and tell them what you had just been doing.
Well, first of all, I just have 3 horses here on the hobby farm. But back then, I was between jobs. Sometime before that, I had been a professional pet sitter with a lot of clients that had horses. And there was a woman that had my business card from way back then, and I was no longer doing that business. But she called me one day, and her normal stable person who cleans horse stalls for her boarding business Monday through Friday had a broken ankle and was going to be out of commission for a few weeks, and she was looking for a temporary replacement. So while this casting call was going on, early in the morning, not only was I taking care of my own horses, I was going over to this boarding farm and cleaning out 16 horse stalls. So I was mucking stalls for a living for a short time and becoming a model.
And that was, so you did that before you came to the casting call.
I sure did. Saturday, not on a Saturday morning, because it was Monday through Friday, because she did her own work on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
But I clean up okay, don't I?
Yeah, yes, you do. You clean up really well. And we had a professional woman that would teach, that we picked these models, and then she taught all of you how to walk. And of course, I kept saying every 10 minutes, you got to have attitude. You got to have attitude. I don't care how big you are, how skinny you are, what you look like, nothing. I just want you to have attitude. And all of you did. You were so spunky and you were so much fun. What did you get from that experience?
Well,
I know it was big.
To go back to the casting call itself, I had never heard of Aging But Dangerous before that. And a friend of mine who was a member and on the email list forwarded to everyone she knew this email regarding the casting call. And, you know, when you're between jobs, you don't have much going on. I'm kind of a recluse out here in the country. And, you know, but I had this spark and I said, hey, what the heck? You know, it won't hurt to try. And it was so much fun. The camaraderie with all the other models, I think, was the biggest plus for me. And when I see any one of them on Facebook or at another Aging But Dangerous event, it's like a reunion. It's like being with family. So for me, the biggest takeaway was the camaraderie and getting to know all the other ladies.
Well, and then you just mentioned the spark. That's what's so important is, yes, you do have that spark, which I love. And that's exactly what each one of those models was chosen for, was they always had that little extra something to go along with that. So it was, you know, but now we had like 500 people and we had standing room only. Yeah. And it was such an exciting event. And I have to tell everybody, this was almost 10 years ago. So 2 weeks before the show, I was supposed to be in charge of getting the clothes. I don't know whether you remember or not, but I could not find clothing stores that wanted to cater to that 50-year-old woman. Not everyone out there, that's how much the time has changed everything, because now they're dying for that 50-year-old woman. But back then, 10 years ago, they were like, they didn't want to promote that. So 2 weeks before, it was like absolutely crazy. I thought I was going to have all of you get your clothes out of your closet, but we came through with some wonderful stores and had just such a great show, and everybody does remember it.
It was so loud at the show that it sounded like a rock concert with the cheering. It was amazing. It was deafening.
It did, and just
Betty was the first big Aging But Dangerous event that I remembered, and I had some friends that came from like an hour and a half drive away. Carpool came, and they were so excited, and the place, like you said, it was rocking.
Yeah,
and it was just contagious, and it was vibrant, and it was exciting, and you had vendors there, you know, that were selling jewelry and other things like that.
Right.
It was just fabulous.
Yeah. Now, Lynne, you were kind of breaking up. Is that was kind of breaking up for me? Was it anyone else?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, also, one of the big things that we do is our skydive. Well, we did a couple of fashion shows after that. The first one was so huge, and it was in the spring. When you live in Minnesota, spring is so important. And so we had lots of spring clothes. We tried our second one in the fall. And as you know, everything in the fall, or at least here, is black.
Oh.
What?
Oh, Jeannie, here you are. I thought we lost everybody.
No.
Nope.
And so it was, the fall one wasn't as good because of all the black. We just didn't have as many fun clothes, but they were all dark clothes. So anyway, also, Mary Sue, you're our mainstay today. You have the experience in the skydiving. I'm a skydiver, and I have done it 4 times. How many times have you done it?
4.
Okay.
Yeah, also.
I've done it twice.
Yeah, Lynne has done it. Yeah, Lynne, that's right, both of you. So, Lynne, what made you decide to skydive?
Well, here it was at this fashion show, and there was all this incredible energy going on. And all of a sudden, Jean comes out and says, the next thing we're going to do is skydive. Who wants to go? And my arm went up. I just volunteered for her. And my friend that I had brought, same thing. We looked at each other and went, well, we've agreed to do it now. I got into it. It was just the contagion of the moment. Sure, why not? Never done that before.
Yeah, yeah. And Mary Sue, what made you decide to do it?
It's something I've wanted to do since I was in my 20s, but never really pursued it. But it was in the back of my mind that if the opportunity was there, I'm going to do it. And at the casting call, Jean, you chatted with me a little bit, and you put your hand on mine and you said, would you go skydiving with me after you told me about this martini skydive that you were planning on doing? Right. And I said, of course I'll go skydiving with you. And I committed right there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't remember that, but that's a great story. Well, so we did it. And the interesting thing, Mary Sue, is, okay, what's the low jump is what, 13,000 feet?
13,000 feet. I did that one twice.
And then you did 18,000.
Because that third skydive that we did, we were at a different location. And Jean, you announced to the group, who wants to go to 18,000 feet? And my hand shot up, and I don't know what it was like. What's that doing up there?
I know.
So I guess I'm going up.
I know, but Mary Sue, the scary thing about that, now I'll say why I skydive, because I happen to love heights. I always say if they would have had LSD when I was in college and I was taking it, I probably would have jumped off the building thinking I could fly. I've always liked heights and wanted I just want to jump. But I had always wanted to do that. And my dad, I did it first when I was 60, which was 18 years ago, with my dad, who was 91. And we did it together. And I just got hooked on it. But you did it, Mary Sue, at 18,000 feet, which means you have to have I said to somebody the other day, you had to have a gas mask, not a gas mask. You had to have a pressure. What kind of mask?
On the way up to 18,000 feet in the airplane, you have to put the oxygen mask on and take in pure oxygen before you drop out of the airplane, because there's so little of it up there at that height. And the advantage of the oxygen, the first thing I noticed was I didn't have to worry about breathing when we left the airplane. The first two jumps at 13,000 feet, it took my breath away, the velocity of the free fall. I would have to get used to that and tell myself, you're not going to suffocate, you're okay. But with the oxygen in your system, I did not have that same feeling of I'm going to suffocate up here with this velocity of the free fall. Mm-hmm. And also with the pure oxygen in your brain, you don't care. You're kind of high.
Oh my gosh.
I was really relaxed.
Oh, I just think that is just fabulous. But you were so gutsy, and so I don't think anyone else did it, did they? One other person, I think. I think
at least one other person did it the first time I did, and the second time I think I was joined by two.
Okay. Well, I have to tell everybody out there, skydiving, if it's on your bucket list, do it with us. And we're getting ready to have our skydiving event in September. So check our website. But everybody's always worried about the landing, and the landing is so easy. You just sit on your butt and raise your legs. And I always say that's what was the amazing thing about my dad at 91. It wasn't the fact that he was 91 skydiving. The fact was that he was 91 and he was able to lift his legs above his waist. So that was kind of incredible. But it's so much more fun the second time. The first time, your brain can't really grasp what's going on. The second time, you know what's happening, and you kind of hang in the air. It's just, it's so fabulous the second time. So I always try to get people to jump that second time, like Lynne.
I've done it twice. It's really a lot of fun.
You've done it twice? Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize that. Okay.
It's terrifying. I remember we get in this little plane and we all have a partner. We're jumping with someone, tandem. And that person's behind you, and they kind of pack 5 of you into this plane. And then there's these crazy guys who are taking videos of you as you fall out of the plane. And they jump out of the plane backward and film you. It's quite hysterical. And then when the door opened, I happened to be the first one in line. And when the door opens on the side of an airplane, your inclination is not to jump out. Your inclination is to as much as you can. And your partner on your back say, it's okay, scooch along, move forward, you know. And then I remember getting to the edge of the plane and thinking, well, I either fly or I die. So I made it fly.
Well, I always say the hardest part is getting out of the plane. You know, once you're out of the plane is so great. But, well, we also, my last jump was with Anne Bancroft jumped with Aging But Dangerous. And it's so funny. Any of you out there that know Anne Bancroft, she is the Arctic explorer. And what is she, Pat? What's her?
Anne is the first woman who went across Antarctica, the Arctic Circle by herself.
Okay, yeah. So I'm walking off with Anne Bancroft. She had not jumped before. And she looks at me and she says, now I have something to talk about at those cocktail parties, you know, as if Anne Bancroft didn't have anything to talk about. But that was just so much fun. And then a couple of years ago, we had a sister from the Sisters of Carondelet, and we called her the Flying Nun. And she jumped. She was 80. Oh, I think she's 82 or something.
Yeah, I think it was.
She would not jump without her little, is it a habit? Whatever that little veil thing is they wear.
Yeah.
She
a
would
little wimple.
What is it?
A wimple?
I don't know. But anyway, she would not jump without that. So they had to really secure that down. But we had fun. We were on TV shows and everything talking about the Flying Nun. And the first time we all jumped, we had 107 people jumping out of an airplane all day long. Had their Aging But Dangerous red T-shirts on, and just from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. And it was so much fun. So we're kind of giving you a little background of some of the things that we have done in the past. And also one of the things we did that was fun was our world's largest colonoscopy party. And that was fun. We had, and we did save a couple of lives. A couple of people found polyps that took care of. But so we had it the night before where they had to drink all the stuff. And I found out at the time that when you have to drink all that horrible stuff, you can actually put a little vodka in it if you want. But this woman was walking around with this martini glass, and I'm like, I wonder if she's got something in there. But anyway, they stayed at the hotel downtown Minneapolis. And then in the next morning, we had limousines that took them to their medical procedure, and then they came back and had brunch. But that was a lot of fun, and we had lots of fun advertising that, and I'd love to do that again, because as you all know, it's so important to get those colonoscopies. And my daughter just turned 50, and she's like, oh, Mother, I have to have that colonoscopy. And I said, I know, but, you know, it's not so bad. But it's all these things, you all, that we're talking about. If you do them with a group like Aging But Dangerous, then it's not so bad. If you do things, you know, like a lot of people would not go out and skydive by themselves, and because it's too, you know, you need support. You know, the fashion show, everything, you need support in all these things that you do. So that's what's fun, is so that we give you that support.
Tell them your good news this year on colonoscopies.
Oh, yeah. So I found out, you know, I'm really treasuring, I'm 78, and I am really treasuring this aging process. And I was telling Pat, I went to get a colonoscopy, and I just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to have this again. And they'd found some polyps before, so I was one of these that had to have it every 5 years. So I wake up from the table, and the doctor says, everything's fine. You don't have to have any more colonoscopies. And I'm like, what? He said, none the rest of your life. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I almost jumped off the table. It was like, that is the best news I have ever heard, because I in 10 years, I'll be 88, and I guess they don't give 90-year-olds colonoscopies unless there's something wrong with you. So anyway, that was a gift. I'm like, yay, for getting old. I don't have to have any more colonoscopies. You know, like, I was really so elated about that. So, yeah.
So
anyway,
we're looking to do some other things as we move forward. We've done a lot of different events over the years, whether it was tattoo parlors or urinary incontinence or about sex or all sorts of things. But as we move forward, we're looking to do some new things. So, Jean, you want to talk about that?
Well, we did one on hitting the sheets after 50 that we had at the women's club. Okay, now I'm hearing some echoing. Are you guys, am I echoing to you guys?
A little bit. Now you're okay.
Okay. And we learned about when you should take Social Security. You know, these young 50-year-olds, I call them young because they are. The 60-year-olds are young to me.
Thank you.
But they need to know these things. So we really do like to get our information out there. And we talked about vibrators. I happen to believe that vibrators are very important in life. And I've been married for 56 years. So I think, you know, we need to really talk about a lot of things, the incontinence, and a lot of things that women have not talked about before. And that's one of the reasons we started this Aging But Dangerous. My ex-business partner and myself were very good friends. And we started this because women were not communicating, and we want women to communicate with each other. And that's why when you join this group, we are going to have educational things. And like I said, we're going to have these webinars with different subjects that you want to talk about. And in our resource library, we're going to have all kinds of good information on different things. And we have a wonderful store that we have really special things in there. And of course, can't wait till we get a little coffee mug with Aging But Dangerous on it, because I think those make great gifts. But we've just got a lot going on. I'd like to tell you what our mission statement is. Our mission statement, which is new to us, is Aging But Dangerous is an organization for women focusing on healthy aging and living life dangerously through fun, spirit, and style. And that's exactly the way I feel about life. I do think, you know, I love the whole spirit of living and the whole aging thing, like I say, and you know, I have a little attitude, whether you call it style or what, but just have a good attitude. And we love our new logo. Our new logo is brand new, and that's the woman's side with the lightning rod through it. And our tagline is "Own Your Power," which I love. So what else? Oh, well, this is one of the most important things of the whole talk is Lynne Hardy is in charge of our travel area. And Lynne, could you tell us what's happening there? Because that is so, it's going to be so fabulous, the whole travel program.
Exactly. I'm really excited about it. I'm a travel junkie myself. I love traveling. And so when Jean said, well, you know, we want to do some travel stuff. And I said, ooh, pick me. I'll work on that. And I really had a great time doing the research. And what we wanted to do was especially enable women to do international traveling. A lot of times you want to travel. We hear this all the time. Women love to travel. Oh, tell me about travel, but I have no one to go with, or it's too hard, or I don't know how to do it. I've never left the country, that sort of thing. So we're going to make it so easy for everyone because we want everybody to take advantage of that. And for me, one of the things I see is we have lots and lots of followers and friends, and what we want is our members to be able to meet each other. And we come from all over the country and indeed all over the world. And travel is a way, if we have a common destination, we can all end up going on a trip together or several trips. So we're planning some very exciting stuff that's going to start in 2019. You always have to plan group travel out a long ways. But starting early, it's going to allow us to have enough time, everybody enough time to plan it, to get their calendar cleared, whatever they need to do, to get the money if they need to put it aside and save it up. So we found a good travel partner that's going to enable us to travel in small groups of 20 or less, larger groups. We're going to have some river cruises. A lot of people have asked about river cruises in Europe, and we're going to have one of those on the docket next year. So we're going to have travel that's going to be, we'll have some that'll be exclusively for Aging But Dangerous members. And that's really going to be where we can really get to know each other well from wherever we are. And other ones may be ones where we're not the only people on the boat, for example, on a river cruise. But we'll have our own section, we'll have our own kind of tour guide, we'll be housed near each other, and it'll just enhance our interaction with each other, and then meeting all the fabulous travelers that you meet when you go on a trip. It's so fun because every trip you come home with wonderful memories and new friends and invitations to come visit, you know, all over the places that they are from. So we are just looking forward to that, and we're going to be putting out lots of information soon on all of our social media. So just keep watching it and sign up for membership so you get the first chance to sign up. So make sure that you're a real live member of Aging But Dangerous.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Most of our things are going to be for members only. So go to the website and check that. Go in to be a member and sign up for $49 for the year. It's just we're going to have a lot for you to look forward to. So
I want to make sure that we mention that the $49 is a special introductory price on the membership. And so it'll be those people who take advantage of it will be really blessed because it will go up next year.
Well, and just to let you guys know, we are worldwide. We had a couple weeks ago, we had 2 women from Brazil sign up. We had a woman from Australia, and we had a woman from India. So we are in 50 different countries. Now, not very many people, only onesie-twosies, but still, that seems to be growing. So we are all over the map.
Yep. Well, women are everywhere. You know, we're all over the world, and that's our group. That's us.
That's us.
You know, of our age, looking for a way to live in this new phase of your life. A lot of us have most of our family obligations behind us, maybe are retired, and we've just got time and energy, and now we want to look out for what's the fun things, you know, to do in our life. Like Mary Sue, her bucket list, she got to start knocking things off the bucket list. So I'm just thinking Aging But Dangerous. That's what appealed to me about ABD, is that it's women like me and people, you need new friends, and not the friends that you've always had are not in the same place you are, and you need people who want to do the things that you want to do. And there's all different things, and so you don't have to not go somewhere because your friend doesn't travel, or your partner doesn't travel, or your spouse doesn't travel. You can travel with us. We're a welcoming group. It's going to be fun.
Right.
Well,
And those 40-year-olds like us because they want to see what it's like to grow old, I guess. What this aging thing is all about. They want to know about it. So we're kind of we get down to that younger group too sometimes. So.
Yep.
All right, Pat, is there anything else?
Well, I think just mentioning that we will be holding virtual gatherings at least monthly. We're going to have a number of them that will be educational with special guest speakers who are subject-specific speakers. We're also looking to hold some events around the nation. Some of us will be traveling to different places, and we'll be connecting with members as we go around the nation. I don't think we have any questions or comments that I'm aware of in the chat. So we must be doing a really good job of answering all the questions. What do you think?
Yeah.
Possible? No questions?
From women, I doubt it, but you know, there we are. The other thing is that we will be continuing to post on Facebook and invite people that you know to join our newsletter list and to consider joining Aging But Dangerous and becoming a new member. Anything else, Jeannie?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
All right. Well, thank you to Mary Sue and Lynn. We're just thrilled that you were able to join us, and we expect to have other members joining us as we go forward with these virtual gatherings. And we will see everyone soon. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.